speaking of health
and support,
Echo Charles,
yes.
Is there any way that you could advise us how to support ourselves,
and each other,
and possibly?
Yeah. We just supported.
Yeah, we support
Echo there.
We support Tim. We did.
Actually, one of the benefits of having you on is you're very supportive, very encouraging, and I like that. But in the event of us wanting to support this podcast, in addition to each other, in addition to ourselves, or all at once, we can stay on Jocko Super Krill Oil.
I thought you were going to say the path.
Well, yeah, the path. That's bigger picture for sure, and we'll talk about that. But one of the methods to stay on the path is krill oil. You can lift a lot of weights. You can have strong muscles, kind of like when you tear your skin apart, I guess. Mm-hmm. But if your joints are all jacked up, they don't want to move. You're not lifting nothing. So, and this goes for everyday life. So, Super Krill Oil, Jocko has supplements, finally. Super Krill Oil, joint warfare, and discipline, which is a pre-mission, cognitive enhancer, force multiplier. Technically, what does force multiplier mean? It's like when you get one thing and another, and the sum is worth more than the parts.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
we'll go with it. You were so excited about that, I'm just going to let it roll.
Anyway, 3 supplements, right? Not counting the new one that's going to come out soon. So krill oil for your joints, joint warfare for your joints, and discipline. Pre-mission, you take it, cognitive enhancers, a little bit of caffeine in there.
15 milligrams.
15 milligrams.
Unless you drink multiple scoops.
Sure, then it's 30.
I did an event the other night, and I was kind of tired going into it, straight up. I was kind of tired, and usually my events are during the day, but this was at night, and so I was kind of like, I'd flown out there, and I was feeling a little bit, so I drank some discipline, and then I drank some more discipline, and I ended up having... I guess it was a sum total of about 5 scoops of discipline.
Sure.
So
too much discipline, this guy.
60 milligrams. But there's not just
the balance.
But anyways, I got done with the event and went up to, hung out with everyone for a little bit, had the little dinner thing, and then got done with that, and then hung out, and then went up to my hotel room. And I just sat there BTFing. And the funny thing is I didn't realize. I was like, why? Because I had gotten up early in the morning, worked out, traveled, blah, blah, blah. Right. And I didn't realize why do I have energy right now? Why can't I sleep right now? This is ridiculous. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? and then I didn't even realize it till the next day. Because I went to bed at 1:30 in the morning, woke up at 4:30, and then I did like a stretch, came home, Jack Steele when I got home.
Of course.
Yeah, I got home, did squats, which is nice because my arm's been jacked up, so I haven't been able to do. I'm not doing overhead squats right now, or even front squats.
Oh, right,
I'm just doing.
So
I am doing front squats with kettlebell.
Yeah,
and some of us have a bigger kettlebell than other people, but whatever.
Sure.
So you got to be careful. Don't have if you're not used to caffeine, because I'm not used to caffeine, because I only have Jocko white tea, which has the same 15 milligrams, or discipline. If you're not used to caffeine, that little 15 milligrams, and you drink a bunch of it, you're going to feel it. Don't drink it before you go to bed at night.
Yeah.
That's my warning. Unless you have stuff to do.
Unless you got stuff to do. Yeah.
Then get after it.
Yeah. You want to balance the discipline, for sure.
Yeah. You will feel sharp. Yeah. That's what's good about it. You feel sharp.
It's good. It's funny.
Physically and mentally.
When someone says, oh yeah, I'm drinking the discipline. You ever watch Spaceballs? Remember that show? Spaceball, when he's like, liquid Schwartz. Remember?
Oh.
It's like the Schwartz is the Force.
Oh, liquid Force.
You know what Spaceballs is, right?
Yeah,
it's a parody of Star Wars. So
yeah.
instead of the Force, it's the Schwartz, right? That's what it is, Schwartz. And then he had the liquid Schwartz.
Oh, yeah. So
that
now
was like the fuel
discipline.
or something. I forget. It was a while ago. Anyway, that's how you sound when you say, I'm drinking the discipline. You can't drink know, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think you meant to do that. Nonetheless, you get this at originmain.com. On the top, it says labs. Actually, a guy emailed me. It was like, hey, I can't find the discipline. I said, look within yourself. Then I said, go to originmain.com. On the top, it says labs.
You
Boom.
just made it funny.
I
like that. Good job.
I'm jumping back and forth. Anyway, that's where you get it. originmain.com. Also on originmain.com, they got some cool geese, all made in America. Rash guards, compression gear. tops and bottoms, rash guards, spats.
Spats.
Yeah, we're
Approved.
going with spats. Do they have the black out yet?
Yeah.
I don't have
They
any.
do.
All right.
You know, also look at start planning your schedule for the Origin Jiu-Jitsu camp. Immersion camp.
Yeah,
I
it's
forgot
not
about
like
that
a
word.
it's
See?
not like a hardcore, like, that's the thing, and that's what Pete kind of this is what he was kind of telling me, where it's not like it's not like boot camp or something, which it would be cool too. It's not like a training camp for like an event. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when guys can't train
Although
for
we are
ADCC.
training.
Yeah, we're training.
We're training hard.
But it's more like you're in there to immerse yourself in jiu-jitsu. You want to train hard, you train hard. You want to learn hard, you learn hard. Whatever.
Well,
you know,
yeah, the case in point, there's a lot of people that have never even trained before.
Yeah.
Literally have never trained before.
Yeah.
Got up, said, hey, before this morning's class, I need to get a gi.
Yeah.
Because I don't even have a gi.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's in August. You can check on the website for that, too. Come on up. Echo, Charles, and I will be there. You want to go?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's good
Come on
fun.
up.
It's like
fun.
this cool
Yeah.
camp. Yeah, it's dope.
You can start learning more than I taught you last time we did jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah, the 2 moves that we had. I have jujitsu legs now.
Oh, you
I
do?
have
So
my
what do they
process-made
look like?
Jujitsu legs.
Because I told you got to get rid of like the hard thing.
Yeah, they were just the hard sockets, right? And so what I did was, you know, I had trouble standing up.
Yeah.
So what I did was I had these two. I have the sockets that go on my legs. So what I had my prosthetist do is cover them in foam, and then so that's a little bit softer for people, so I don't hurt anybody. And then he made it so I could just stand on the ends of those sockets.
So like the same height?
Yeah, so that they're the same height.
Awesome.
And so now
That's
I can
a game
kinda,
changer.
I use them to. I haven't started taking jujitsu because I've been really busy, but I'm gonna. I think once we get back, my wife and I are gonna start going in.
Awesome.
And then I also use them to do some weightlifting stuff. I've been able to figure out how to do squats
okay,
off the ground.
Nice.
Squats. And yeah, so it's awesome. So I'll be ready.
Yeah. No, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the biggest concern I had last time was the shell had like a
Yeah, that
metal
valve on
thing.
it.
Yeah, a valve. And that thing was uncool.
Oh
He's
yeah.
jamming you up. Oh,
That was
man, yeah.
uncool.
No, I didn't realize at the time that you were insulting me because
That's how I do
not
things
until
sometimes.
after. No, not until after. Because the whole time after we rolled, you were like, "Oh yeah, you're really strong, And then a couple times later, a couple podcasts later, you're like, "Oh, it's actually an insult." So
Yeah. It's you don't have any technique, but you're strong. You know,
That's
it's
how
like one of
that's
those.
how I learned that I was almost optimistic to a fault. Was that when we roll? And you've talked about this before. When we roll, I was like, "There's got to be a way that I can catch Jocko. There's got to be some
Yeah.
way." And that guy, like, who was
Yeah.
the guy that's missing his hand that we rolled with? I rolled with afterwards.
Oh, Jeffrey L.
Jeffrey L.
Yeah, Jeffrey. I had him by the neck, and I was like, "Oh dang, I got him! I can't believe this, I got him!" And then afterwards, you're like, "There's no possible way you're gonna."
Yeah.
It's like I somehow I was just so optimistic about what I can do to a fault.
It is that, and you're with so many people.
Yeah.
Majority of
Yeah.
people, especially with
99%,
jiu-jitsu,
yeah.
fall in that category of well, and the other funny thing is you'll get somebody with something, and then they think to themselves, if I just stop that,
Yeah.
then I'll be able to win.
Yeah.
I had a wrestler. This was back in the day. I was like a blue belt, and this blue belt, and I was going against this wrestler. Like a really good college wrestler, and the look on his face every single time was just, okay, let's go again.
Yeah.
He was the first person that I realized that's the normal reaction, but especially for a wrestler, because wrestler that wrestle in college, man, they've been dominating people in high school, they've been dominating people in college. They know they understand grappling, and so when they get like submitted, they just don't even understand it.
It seems like the one thing
Yeah,
they
the
never
one
saw
thing.
before,
Yeah.
And I don't know. You can give me some advice on this. Is it better? Because I've done it both ways. Is it better to submit them with the same thing every single time, which I've done that, or to submit them with something new every single time, where they just are dumbfounded?
Yeah, I think the second one, especially given what you said, because it's true. The wrestler, he's gonna have all this knowledge of grappling.
Yeah.
So, and it makes sense, So you see this one weird thing that you never seen in your mind. You're like, all right, that's
just
just
stop that
one
one thing.
weird kind of
Yeah.
rare kind of thing. It's a feeling, and then but if you're like this thing, it's like, okay, this world is opening up now, and okay, I understand a
You
little
realize
bit
it
better.
wasn't a fluke.
Yes, it wasn't just that
Yeah.
one thing. Like how you said, that one thing. I just got to stay away from his or putting my neck in there. I just got to stay away from
Just
that.
gotta stay away
That's
from
all. all. So it kind of depend or deviates from that whole idea.
So we'll be having these discussions and many more at the immersion camp in Maine in August. Yeah, it's right before school starts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, those are good fun, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, originmaine.com. Check it out. Good way to support. Also, Jocko talked about his new cool kettlebell that's heavier than mine. Nonetheless, I got the whole set on. You know what kettlebells I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
the
Onyx
demon
ones.
or the primal bells,
Monkey ones or whatever.
Yeah,
Gorillas.
I think there's like a cyclops in there
Yeah.
too. Anyway,
Any more word on the Jocko head, or is that gonna happen?
yeah, it's still work in progress. We're in the idea phase on that one still, but yeah, that's good. But nonetheless, you want the whole set? Go to onit.com/Jocko. Really good kettlebells in there. Other exercise stuff on there too. You want to switch up your workout. I ran into that the other day. Like, dang, this workout is getting boring. So I just BTF through it.
Yeah. And then because it's good to do things, and you brought this up before, if you're not used to something, even though it's like we talked about squats, like going all the way down, which is what I'm used to. If I was to do squats to, what is it, parallel to the deck.
That's the standard.
Yeah, the standard. And then those squats would actually be a little bit harder for me for like a week or 2 weeks. And then I'd realize that going down in the hole is the place where you need to get.
Yeah, and it goes along with exactly what you're saying, how like your brain has to, it's called neuromuscular connection, where if you're used to doing a certain motion, you can do it way more efficiently. Mm-hmm. Put more weight on there. We're pretty efficient, and that's where gains come from. Yeah. Or a big part of where gains come from. So yeah, you just change the movement just a little bit. Boom, whole nother thing your body got to get used to. More gains to be had.
Well, that's the whole theory of West Side Barbell, isn't they change the way they do something every 3 weeks. They either instead of doing this bench press the same exact way, they do that for 3 weeks, and then the next 3 weeks they do it wide, or they do it with a different kind of bar, or they do it different range of motion. Yeah. So they don't allow their body to totally adapt. Yeah. So they're constantly changing and just kind of.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool ways you can kind of manipulate that from workout to workout. But so if you want to vary up your workout with all kinds of different movements on it, they have some cool stuff. Battle maces, battle ropes, maces, some other stuff. Anyway, onit.com/Jocko. Good spot. Also, when you buy the books that we sometimes review on this podcast, I got them all organized on jockopodcast.com in the books section. Just click through there. It takes you to Amazon Prime, if you have it. And, get your book. Good way to support. If you're doing other shopping, continue. Do your shopping. Buy that lawnmower you've been meaning to buy. Also, subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. Seems obvious, I know. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and other podcast providing platforms. Also on YouTube, because we do have a YouTube channel, Rob Jones. Mm-hmm. I know you're on there sometimes. We have excerpts. I think that's really one of the main values is the excerpts of this podcast. For sure. Because because a lot of times, aside from seeing what you and our guests look like, the video version or whatever, the excerpts are shareable, and I didn't realize how valuable that was with the sharing thing.
Until when?
I think it's a gradually increasing understanding of the value overall. Nonetheless, I could go into a whole thing about
people that say like, hey, could you make an excerpt for this and make an excerpt for this and make an excerpt? You're just starting to realize that maybe they had a reason for that?
We'll just say I'm realizing it more. How about that?
Check.
Nonetheless, good value there, in my opinion, and a good way to support. So subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want. Also, Jocko has a store. If you didn't know already, it's called Jocko Store. Go to jockostore.com, and if you want the shirts that say "Discipline equals freedom," get after it. The Warrior Kid shirt, like this one, or the shirt that Jocko always wears, the Victory MMA and Fitness. That's where you can get it. That's where you get it. jockostore.com.
We need to make gray ones of these.
Gray, just gray.
Gray.
Oh, heather gray.
I don't care. I don't know.
Just gray.
Gray. Can we do that?
Yeah, but that's a general term. Gray. It's like you can't just say, hey, you know. You gotta.
I need gray shirts for the summertime that's coming.
There are 50 different shades of gray. There's a whole documentary about that, right?
Is there a documentary about that?
This guy. He for real doesn't know what you're talking about either. That's the funny thing.
It's a pop culture reference.
Yeah, 50 Shades of Gray, Nonetheless, I'll make the gray one, so there will be a gray Victory MMA and Fitness shirt available on jockostore.com soon.
I like it.
I promise. Also, some women's stuff on there. Some patches. I just got the patches reordered, so they should be in there. You know, the store's running better now. It is. So, you know, check it out.
We're happy to hear that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It means a lot to us.
Yep, some hoodies on there. Some rash guards on there for various activities, including but not limited to jiu-jitsu, cycling. There was a guy on Instagram. I think he ran, a marathon,
Nice.
Representing?
Representing big time with the Get After It rash guard. He said he did it 50% better. 50% better.
Well, there you go.
There
Factual.
you go. Factual.
That's scientific.
Yeah, proof is
absolutely.
in the pudding. So boom, rash guards. Yes, jockostore.com. Look at that stuff. I'm not saying buy something. I'm saying if you want something, get something. Good way to support. Also, psychological warfare. I'm going to explain what it is. Again, it's no problem for me. It is an album, not a music album. It's a spoken word album with tracks. And these tracks they have a purpose, not just entertainment, like, oh, this is poetic. It is poetic, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is, for each track, is to get you through. When you're on the path, on the campaign against weakness, you'll run into these moments of weakness, right? Just little weakness insurgents, if you will. You know, they show up every once in a while. So you listen to a specific track designated for a certain type of weakness that'll creep in. And the track is Jocko telling you why you should overcome this weakness. Why? Kind of how as well. It's not Jocko yelling at you. It's just a pragmatic, kind of in a way, these steps to take to overcome these weaknesses. Boom. 100%. 100%. 100%. What do you saw? Success rate on that one, in my experience, 100%. Good way to support.
You can also get Jocko White Tea on Amazon. It's called Jocko White Tea.
Sure.
And that's for people that want to deadlift 8,000 pounds. And this is another scientifically proven, factually double-blind placebo.
Placebo, yes.
Placebo proven.
Somebody I don't want to say somebody. Okay, there's this guy, he deadlifted a bunch.
Oh, yeah,
recently.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? He's huge. He's
Bjorn Thor.
Half Thor Bjornsson.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He just won the Arnold Classic.
Yeah,
too.
he won the Arnold Classic.
So I've been seeing a lot of that video in reference to
No, a lot of
Jocko
people are wanting to test him to see if he was on Jocko White Tea.
Oh, the Jocko White Tea.
But they don't know that it does. No, you won't test. It doesn't test positive.
Yeah.
So he only did a little
bit.
The
test is the deadlift.
Yeah, he only did a little bit.
You know how they smell those things before he just smelled the tea bag?
He was snorting.
Yeah, that's what he did.
So that's Jocko White Tea. You can get that, but that's coming in a can.
Yeah.
By the way, but it's in starting production. It takes a long time, but by the summertime, you'll be getting Jocko White Tea in a can, like one of the other energy drinks that just fill you with sugar and get you crazy. No, this is going to fill you with antioxidants, a little bit of caffeine, and some good tastes. So yeah, that's coming. Let's see what else. Books. Speaking of books, on Amazon or wherever, Way the Warrior Kid. You should have that book for all children, right?
Yeah.
Is there any child in the world that doesn't need Way of the Warrior Kid?
No.
Didn't think so. So get that. And speaking of Way of the Warrior Kid, there's a new Way of the Warrior Kid that is out right now, available for pre-order. So get it. And one of the things that I would like to do, everyone tells me things like, everyone should get Way of the Warrior Kid. Every kid should read this book. Every kid should read this book in high school or in their school. People say that to me all the time because it's very simple, clear lessons that everybody should absorb. And it would help. It would have helped me if I had that book. It would have helped everybody when they had that, if they had that book when they were younger. So want to get this book out there to more kids. One of the best ways to do that, if you order Way of the Warrior Kid 2, Mark's Mission, order it from different sources. Get it from Amazon, get it from Barnes & Noble. Go to your local bookstore and say, hey, can you please order this book for me? We want to get it spread out where a bunch of different outlets are seeing the demand for it. That will increase the publicity that the book receives, and it will get into more kids' hands. That's my goal, is to get more kids to read Way of the Warrior Kid and to read Mark's Mission. So do that. It's alive. Also, speaking of Warrior Kids, if you want to support a Warrior Kid, there's a Warrior Kid that's a farmer and a businessman. And he's making soap from goat milk. Why? Because he's getting after it. You can order some of that at irishoaksranch.com. And the motto, because he doesn't just make soap, he makes Jocko soap.
Sure, yeah.
Hey, he wanted to make good soap.
Dig it. Yeah.
I quote, I want to make good soap. G-O-O-D, capitalized.
Yeah.
So he makes Jocko soap. Smells like coconut, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, because I like the
it.
smell of coconut.
Yeah, is there coconut in it?
Yes.
I didn't find it to smell like coconut.
It smells, it definitely, you don't think it smells like coconut? Well, maybe you have a more sensitive Hawaiian.
Yeah, olfactory
senses.
situation.
Yeah. But the motto for Jocko soap, stay clean.
Yep.
Discipline equals freedom, field manual. Again, I was traveling around. I signed a lot of these books when I just traveled around. When I was in Australia, a lot of people brought it in, and that was awesome. A lot of great feedback. One thing that's good, if you have that book and you like it and it's helped you, get it for someone else that you know that wants to get on the path or should be on the path. So that's pretty easy to do. Also, the audio version of that book does not exist on audible.com. It exists on iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Play, other MP3 platforms. It's an album with tracks.
Sure.
That's why we did it that way. And finally, of course, Extreme Ownership. The new version of Extreme Ownership is out. The black one, which looks cool.
Yep.
It's got a little excerpt, new beginning, and it's got an excerpt of Q&A from this podcast in the back, which is solid.
How long is that part of it? I don't want to say, how much of that is
I think there's 8 questions. I mean, and they're, answers, which is
pretty robust answers.
It's fairly robust, yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of leadership, we have a company, Echelon Front. We solve problems through leadership. That's what we do, and we do it all the time. It's me, Leif Babin, JP Donnell, Dave Burke. You can email info@echelonfront.com, or you can go to our website, echelonfront.com. And, of course, there is the Muster, which is a leadership gathering, a leadership seminar, a leadership conference. What do you learn there? Pragmatic leadership skills so you can win. That's what you learn. We're only doing 2 this year. We're doing 1 in Washington, D.C. You coming May 17th and 18th?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can come meet the Rob Jones. And then we're doing 1 in San Francisco, October 17th and 18th. The DC one, by the way, right now is it's more than half sold out right now. So these are both going to sell out, just like all the events that we've done have sold out. So if you want to come, register as quick as you can. ExtremeOwnership.com. We'll see you there. And until the muster, if you want to hang with us, we are on the interwebs. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. And we are on That's Your Facey Boy. Echo is at Echo Charles. I am at Jocko Willink. And, of course, Rob Jones is at Rob Jones Journey. And he also has RobJonesJourney.com.